You're fucking right.
Oh. All right. Welcome into the Three Guys Talking Ball podcast. Grant is a clown, it looks like. It's episode 65. It is Super Bowl champion Trey Smith edition. It's February
I-65, baby!
23. And the Chiefs are Super Bowl champions. I want a free trip to Mexico. And Chiefs are Super Bowl champions. Ethan's in Minnesota. Grant's in Mankato, it looks like. He is probably the best he's actually looked because it's kind of blurry right now as we record this. But guys, how's it going? How are things?
I'm a bona fide mid.
Yeah, you have a face for radio. We all do. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
So, Grant, did Hy-Vee give you the day off since your team won the Super Bowl?
No, they did not. I actually have this whole week off, doggone it, because I got to go to the great state of Florida later this week down to old Tampa Bay. So a Chiefs win last night, getting off this whole week to go to Florida. God damn, it can't get much better than that. Let's go, baby.
I mean, so you basically went out on top. So because you're wrestling Gators this week, so I mean, if you die, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're going to Florida.
It don't matter.
I'm going to Denver on Thursday. So we're just all over the place.
I'll be in Charlotte in about 11 days.
I mean, yeah,
pretty close.
11 days.
Like,
yep.
You know, like Ethan said, if that Gator gets me, I'm fine with that because, not only did the Chiefs just win this one, they won one 4 years ago. So it wasn't a fluky one-time one. They won two. So I'm in a good mood. And the Eagles didn't win. The people of Philadelphia lost. America wins.
Yeah, they it's a sad thing. They weren't able to punch horses and eat horse shit. So, there's a good saying.
Oh, they definitely still did that. They just did it in a losing effort.
It was
even though this country was founded in Philadelphia, at least its independence.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, even better. Even though this country's independence was declared in Philadelphia, we don't care about that.
Patrick Mahomes should go freaking.
That was 250 years ago. We don't care about that.
Was it? Yeah, it was. It was.
They should go. They should go ring the Liberty Bell. Patrick Mahomes.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure it's decommissioned, but screw it.
Probably.
I say we leave the Chiefs gear on that Rocky statue.
Yeah, they broke the curse.
We're leaving Chiefs gear on that Rocky statue. They broke the curse. Drake put $1 million down on them. They won that. It was just meant to be.
They just Patrick Mahomes might just be a witch, and he breaks the curses. I don't know what
Patrick Mahomes
or a wizard.
Andy Reid. All I gotta say is cheeseburgers in paradise, baby.
Yeah, not entirely because he didn't even mention cheeseburger in his post-game press conference or any part of the interview.
I'm not referring to that to yesterday. That was the Seattle game this year, my guy, when they gave him that for Christmas, and that's just been the line I've been saying since then. Shout out to my guy Derek at work. Cheeseburgers in paradise.
Yeah,
from that Seahawks game on Christmas Eve.
Didn't he say the play to?
I don't give a damn. It's Andy Reid. He mentioned it after the last time. That's who he is. You know that those two touchdown plays yesterday were named Corn Dog.
I was just gonna say that
because they like to eat. That's Corn Dog. He goes, "What's better than a good old corn dog? A little mustard, a little ketchup on top." He goes, "We like to eat, Kansas City."
Yeah, I don't blame him. I mean, there's a reason he looks the way he looks is because there's a lot of good food in Kansas City.
He's got to have a really bad LDL cholesterol.
Probably. I can't imagine he eats a lot of salads.
It can't be good.
Yeah, I don't think this is a cheeseburger salad.
The only salad he gives is when he takes the piece of lettuce off his burger.
Yeah. That is true. I bet you. Do you think he had a double or a triple last night?
Quadruple.
Oh wow, quadruple.
He had the 4 patty special.
The 4 patty special. Wow.
Oh yeah, the 4 patty special.
Extra fries.
And they probably bought all the cigars that the Phoenix area had extra fries, a lot of seasoned sour cream, just so it could get stuck on his on his mustache.
Save it for later. Save it for the trip back home today.
Yeah, save it for the trip back home. Maybe a little something for his wife, if you know what I'm saying. Come on now.
Ethan, what type of wine you drinking there?
It's just a red blend, nothing crazy tonight.
What are the legs like?
The legs are. Let's take a look. Grant, is this good swirl enough for you? It's a
motherfucker. I'm in too good of a mood right now to be upset by you and your wine.
Oh, Dylan, I kid you not. Guess the proof of whiskey we had this weekend at a distillery. Me and Grant.
Is it 100 proof?
You might want to go a little higher.
130 proof?
123.
Oh wow!
And it was spectacular.
What does the proof even mean? As far as no idea. Okay.
It was strong.
So essentially, guys, if it's something proof, divide that by 2. So if you're having some vodka and it says it's 80 proof, that means it's 40% alcohol.
Okay.
So Ethan, that 123 we had was like 61.5% alcohol.
Jeez.
That's that's a lot.
Mm-hmm. How big of a glass was it in?
We just did ounce. It was like a tasting.
Oh, gotcha.
It wasn't actually on the tasting.
It was like a sampler.
Yeah, it wasn't on the tasting sheet, but the guy Charlie was very kind and asked if we wanted to taste it. So
it was like a whiskey flight.
They have a bunch of spirits. They had, let's see, we tried a gin, a couple different whiskey. I guess a whiskey, a bourbon, their vodka, an aquavit,
an apple brandy.
That was the 6th one.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever heard of an aquavit, but it was interesting.
No. You know me when it comes to my alcohols. I'm a pretty.
You're just a Busch Light.
Yeah, Busch Light, and that's about it.
Yeah, but no, it was fun. In their room, they have all their barrels. Guess how much money they have in their barrel room worth of alcohol?
Over $1 million.
That's not a guess.
Oh, 2.4 million.
A little higher than that.
7.5.
Oh,
and this is a small town. Like, this is in Waconia, about 30 miles outside the Twin Cities. Literally, there's maybe 12 tables in the entire place to sit.
Oh, geez. How'd you guys find it?
I think it was about 14.
My boss gave me a gift card around Christmas time to go do a tour there. And yeah, it's hella good. They had brandy sitting in the back, or scotch, excuse me. They've had it back there for like 7 or 8 years. They're not releasing it till 15, and then another release at 20.
Oh, nice.
Like, they had some crazy stuff there. It was fantastic. You'll have to go next time you come.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Jeez. That does sound good.
And they had a big container, Dylan, that was what was the proof on that gin, Ethan?
Oh, the gin?
Was it like they said like 140?
I don't know.
I mean, you put your nose in there and it felt like it took your eyebrows off.
Oh yeah.
I mean that could take some paint off the wall.
He literally said you had to like woof it in.
Yeah.
Because if you smell it straight up, you'll literally pass out.
It was like lighter fluid?
Oh yeah. You literally you didn't even have to smell it.
It seemed like it.
Your nose.
Oh, jeez. That sounds.
Yeah, it was insane.
Sounds like
it was crazy. That guy. That guy Charlie came out and said something along the lines of, "Oh yeah, if you guys want to, I'll give you a sample here of the 123 proof, and it doesn't taste like that." And I'm thinking, "There's no way. This guy's had too much alcohol in his day. The brain had been damaged." We each took a sip from that sampler, and it was like, I've had some 80 proof, and I've had some 80 proof that tasted a lot worse than what he gave us at 123 proof. So it was crazy.
It made your nose tingle a bit, but it was like a good tingle.
Okay. Charlie, that just sounds like a guy that like distills whiskey for a living.
He's actually a volunteer. He just does the tours.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
he must live there because he knows literally just as much as the people that freaking make it, if not more.
Okay.
But he
just had to have been some old retired guy who likes to drink.
Yeah, some woodworker that for his whole life, and then he's like, screw it, I'm going to come here and volunteer.
Ron Swanson.
Yeah. Yeah. But I didn't buy the 123 proof. I bought it.
It looked like he.
It looked like what?
Well, dude, it would. He's saying he didn't buy the 123 proof. He bought like the 92 proof.
Yeah, so not as bad.
But
what does a bottle of that?
It would almost take you over a year. It would almost take you.
The 123 proof was $68 for 0.75.
Okay.
So honestly, not that outrageous. I feel like.
And I'm guessing that's the type of whiskey that it's not one you mix. It's one that you put on the rocks, or you just drink straight.
Yeah. You sip on the rocks. I got one that had like winter wheat, I think is what he called it. Grain. It was fantastic though, so I'll save that for a special occasion.
Oh, there you go. There you go. How was
the red winter wheat is what he called it.
Red winter wheat, that's what it was. You're right.
How was your guys' Super Bowl party?
Red winter wheat for you.
Boom. I just hung out. We and Hannah just hung out here by ourselves. Made some air fryer pizza. Some homemade air fryer pizza. That was fantastic. Some cheese-filled breadsticks and some
no stuffed crust pizza?
No stuffed crust pizza today. No, I wasn't. I'm over that. We're making air fryer pizza moving forward. I put my foot down.
Air fryer pizza. How big is your air fryer?
She has a big one.
Okay.
Yeah, you can grill, air fry. It's like a freaking toaster.
Bigger than yours?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fantastic. But now we have two.
Oh, there you go. So did you like make the dough yourself from scratch, or did you just buy like one of the?
It's a naan bread.
Oh, is it cauliflower crust?
No, it's just I don't know. It's just like a nicer, less calories somehow bread. A full like mini pizza, probably I don't know about 10 inches or so, only has 350 calories.
Oh, there you go.
So it's that, and it's fantastic. Was like not super crispy, but like crispy enough that it tasted like pizza, not super doughy.
Oh, nice.
Much better than Jack's, I'll say that. Even though we all love Jack's here. Jack's is the top of the line, but this was good.
Gotcha. I don't know the last time I've had a Jack's pizza.
They should sponsor us.
They should.
I'm still maybe they're listening. At Barstool Prez for shitting on it, and it's just ridiculous. I'll never forgive him for that.
Yeah. Can't please everybody. He also lives in New York, which is like considered the pizza capital of the world. So
I know. So he's spoiled. He doesn't know what's good.
Yeah, he hasn't had to live on the college.
That's
budget.
one thing. I'm always gonna that's always the one thing I'm gonna disagree with on people. Give me the Chicago style pizza over the New York any day of the week.
Chicago style pizza, especially in Chicago, slaps.
Yeah, I would agree. It's not something I want to eat all the time.
Never been, but
a nice deep dish slice isn't bad. I know the place we went to Chicago a few years ago was like 700 calories a slice.
I believe it. Yeah. Grant, you need to go to Chicago, walk in the downtown area, Navy Pier. It's actually really, really cool.
Yeah. Very cool city.
Oh, I've heard that.
Couldn't live there, but I would love to actually go back.
I've heard that. Everyone that's the thing everyone's told me who's gone to that city. They say they go for 3-4 days. It's cool. There's a lot to check out. It's a lot of fun, but that's about it.
Nice train system. Gets you out of the city pretty quick.
In today's world, public transportation is a win. So I'm all for that.
Parking is absolutely nuts there. It's like $70 an hour.
Yeah. You're better off just.
Oh yeah, screw that.
Public.
Oh yeah, take the damn train. Absolutely.
But Grant, how was your Super Bowl party?
It was good. don't know if I'd call it much of a party. It was just kind of me, my parents, sister, and then my mom's sister, my aunt came over, and we watched the game. Mom put together some of the Velveeta, Rotel, and ground beef, and she made a thing of cheesy potatoes, had a little meatballs on the side, some shrimp cocktail.
That's a food that we forgot. Was meatballs for our Stardom Situm Super Bowl foods. Can't go wrong with it. Meatballs and mini wieners.
I know I shit on weenie wieners. Remember?
Yeah, I know you did. You're wrong.
I'm with Ethan. The little Smokies are overrated. They're trash. They're not good.
Oh, they're.
I'm gonna eat a whole damn hot dog.
But the meatballs.
Sorry.
Exactly. I'm not eating the sliders. I'm not eating the little weenies. I want the whole thing.
You want the whole thing in your mouth?
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. And I want multiple at the same time. But yeah.
I do have a video.
The cheesy potatoes are good. The cake was good. Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. That may have been one of the happiest moments of my life when I was doing that. And no, it was good. It was good. High stressful game. Probably didn't enjoy halftime as much, but no, it was all good.
Yeah, there you go. It was mine was good. There was the Rotel and cheese, some meatballs and mini wieners. What else was there? I brought ribs over. They were a hit. I smoked them. 3-2-1 method.
What did you put on them?
I seasoned them. I did 2 different ones. I did one with the Jack Stack, the barbecue seasoning, and then with the Jack Stack barbecue sauce over it. And then I did another one with Big Deck Barbecue, the Badlands seasoning, and the sauce I put on those were it was peanut butter and jealous, which are really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, they were a hit, and had some even had some leftovers. So had that for supper tonight. And then watched the game, and I went 3 for 5 on my bets. Missed on the over and the cheeseburger, but I got Chiefs money line, Mahomes MVP, and Kelsey first touchdown.
Nice.
Life is good.
We did not see a protester on the field.
I know, that's horseshit.
It is.
Which is really just a shame.
Yeah. Well, we probably wouldn't have been able to see it anyways. There was a protester at the Waste Management, though. Did you see that guy?
Yeah, dude who got made onto the freaking pond and everything.
Yeah. In a Speedo.
Yes.
With a tattoo on his back that said 19th hole with an arrow pointing down.
That was a tattoo?
I don't think it was a tattoo. It was painted on, but
that would be an incredible friggin' tattoo. Oh my god.
His mugshot was incredible too. But yeah, Super Bowl was a great game. Chiefs pulled her out. They were down 24-14 at halftime. There was I don't know if you guys have seen this because it was just filed not too long ago that the Philadelphia Police Department has filed a missing persons report for the Eagles defensive line. They were nowhere to be found. They've been looking in Arizona, still can't find them. They weren't even on the flight back. So we don't know where the Eagles defensive line is. Have you guys seen them at all? Did they make it up to Minneapolis? Did they think that the Super Bowl was in Minneapolis from the last time, or where were they?
Well, now that you mentioned that, Dylan, the search has actually gone to the federal level. Oh. The FBI branch in Philadelphia has joined on this investigation because it's such a bad case of a missing person, and to have 7 people go missing is just so egregious. I wonder, have we checked Gronk Beach? Did those guys party all weekend and they're still there somewhere in Old Scottsdale, passed out on a bus bench because they had too much fun? I mean, Ethan, you've been to Old Scottsdale. You say it's a riot. Maybe they got lost there.
I'd say that'd be a terrible decision.
No, I mean bottled blonde. You got Dierks Bentley Whiskey Row.
They're probably
it's a great place.
Gilligan's.
Hey, yeah, Gilligan's another one.
Is that the plunger place, Ethan?
Yes, it is. With the giant spin.
Is that that's the plunger place? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Place is heaven.
So maybe we should check Old Scottsdale.
Yeah, that might be the play. I might send out some. I think I still have some. I got some family there. I can go send them out on patrol, see if they can find them there. But yeah,
like I said, I think if you got anything, tell the FBI branch in Philadelphia.
Yeah, well, and the good news is I think the Chiefs actually listened to the podcast before, because what we told them to do, they listened to it and it worked out. They're holding up a Lombardi. They ran the ball effectively, and they actually even outrushed the Chiefs, 158 to 115. They averaged 6 yards a carry.
You mean the Eagles?
Yeah, what did I say?
They outrushed the Eagles.
Yeah.
The Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs outrushed the Eagles.
You said the Chiefs outrushed the Chiefs.
Oh.
Yeah, well, you said the Chiefs outrushed the Chiefs.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah, I did not mean to say that. The Chiefs outrushed the Eagles. Sometimes when I start talking, my brain doesn't go as fast as my mouth, and we get things like that. But yes, the Chiefs outrushed the Eagles, 158 to 115. Mahomes was the biggest factor. It felt like those runs reminded me of him when they played Tennessee in the AFC Championship when he won his first Super Bowl. And he didn't have the ball a whole lot in the first half. It kind of felt like it was teetering on it could have played out like it did for the Eagles in the NFC Championship game, but the Chiefs were able to go down and get a score right out of halftime and then hold them to a field goal, which, the last two, the Eagles' last drive of the first half and first drive of the second half, they were able to force them to kick field goals, and that ended up being the difference, where Grant said that, force them to kick field goals in the red zone and you're going to win the game. And they did.
You brought up the Chiefs outrushed the Eagles. Eagles running backs were just terrible, and credit the Chiefs D-line, but the only reason they had over 50 yards rushing was basically Hurts. And in the second half, they almost went away from that, it seemed like, outside of his maybe 1 yard scampers, whatever it was, like his little pushes forward with the 3rd and 1, 4th and 2, whatever the hell it was. But it was crazy. They completely went away from like the game plan that was working in the first half. It was really, really weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's part of what we talked about too, with Sirianni being there for the first time and trying to be too cute with things and over preparing, where he thought that maybe they could exploit the Chiefs secondary a little bit more, but he wasn't able to. And the Chiefs, they did a really good job of tackling. That's another thing too that I don't think has been discussed enough too, and like all the other big broadcasts is the Chiefs tackled really well. There were a couple on those third downs where their corners made plays when they had to, where in the previous games and playoff games that they would go for the big hit instead of wrapping up. This time they wrapped up, and look what happens. You wrap up, you're going to make the tackle and force them to kick or put them in a tough spot.
Well, and also for me, guys, it looked like the Eagles' running game. A lot of that was, like Ethan said, Jalen doing legs, but it almost looked like it was pass plays where the Chiefs didn't rush with any integrity, and they were pass rushing, and they weren't staying in their lanes, and they're running past Jalen. And then Jalen looked at it like, oh, okay, well, they're going to run right by me if they're playing man coverage. I'm just going to take this open lane and run for, 12 to 15 yards. I think in the second half, they changed it up a little bit where they rushed with more integrity and they stayed in their lanes and they didn't rush past the quarterback. And they were able to kind of contain, Jalen there and slow him down. And another thing, like what Ethan said with the Chiefs holding the Eagles running backs down, their running backs only averaged 2.6 yards a carry on the ground yesterday. And that's the Eagles' bread and butter. because if once they get that running game going with their running backs, then you have that RPO game. You're able to get Goddard more involved and hit A.J. Brown over the middle of the field and Devontae Smith. So the Chiefs did a nice job of slowing down the Eagles' bread and butter and their number one part of their offense, and they were able to slow them down just enough, to get a couple stops and win that game. And then lastly, it just looked like the Chiefs wanted to be the more physical team yesterday. They took these 2 weeks. They wanted to establish the line of scrimmage when they had the ball, and when the Eagles had the ball, they, like I just said, they weren't going to let the Eagles get their running game going with their running backs. And it kind of looked like they wanted it more. And then also, I think if you look at the way they talked these last two games, they were pissed off. They bought into, hey, we're the underdogs. Nobody believes us. We want to come in here. We want to whoop some people. And it worked out for them. It's crazy how sports is such a mindset, game you play. Even if you are supposed to be the favorites and you have Andy Reid and you have Patrick Mahomes, if you tell yourself people don't believe in you, you can go out and you can kick anyone's ass and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Where I think they heard the noise. I think they probably heard that they feel like people talking that they aren't a tough physical football team, and you hear that for 2 weeks. Similarly, where I think the most dangerous team in sports is getting a favorite to think that they're the underdog, and you basically just woke up a sleeping giant. You look at that's exactly what the Chiefs are. Is they've been the class of the NFL the last 5 years since Mahomes has taken over as the starting quarterback. And, they trade Tyreek Hill in the offseason. They lose to the Colts. They lost to the Bengals and the Bills, two good teams. But, I think everybody on here didn't really expect the Chiefs to make it. When we thought it was going to be the Bills or the Bengals, or I don't even remember who Ethan had coming out of for his Super Bowl prediction at the beginning of the year. But
I think it was the Ravens.
Okay. That probably sounds right, actually. I think you might be right there.
I think that's right.
And people say it enough times that they can't win. They aren't the team they used to. They're missing Tyreek Hill. They're not doing anything. And they just kind of quietly went to work and just got better each week. And they found themselves in the 1 seed, and what do you know? They get home field advantage again, and they go and play in one of the best Super Bowls of our time. I don't know if it's one of the best. I think if they don't, that pass interference, I think kind of overshadowed it because that's all everybody's talking. Or defensive holding. Excuse me. That's kind of what everybody is talking about, that call, which overshadows how great of a game this game actually was, because it had everything. It was the Chiefs down, they came back, the Eagles responded, score, tie it up, and then that play happens, which Bradbury admitted that, it was a hold. I thought they were going to let it go, but it is what it is. I think Eagles tried to do the right thing to just let him score, and then just a tremendous heads-up play with McKinnon, who has played a lot of football, and just went down and said, you know what? We're going to go let Bucker win this on a chip shot.
Well, and then two things to add on that, Dylan. Just real quick on that, that McKinnon run, like you said, he had a post-game interview, I believe is with James Palmer on NFL Network. And he said, this is something we practice every single day. Less than 2 minutes left in the game. Your opponent doesn't have any timeouts. When you run towards the end zone, slide and take yourself down at the 2-yard line. So how great of a coaching job on this offensive staff. Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, Matt Nagy, everyone, whoever, I don't know who the running backs coach is to say, hey, when situational football, when they don't have any timeouts left and it's tied, slide at the 2. Give yourself up, and we're going to take this thing down, to 10 seconds. But then also, if you remember, before that, when the Eagles had to use their last 2 timeouts, I believe it was on second and third down.
Yep.
Or with that, or sorry, first and second down, and the Jarek got that run on third down. That whole game, the Eagles, they were letting that play clock go from 40 to 0. I think they said if we can eat up as much clock and score touchdowns, that gives the Chiefs less of an opportunity to score because they won't have the ball. Well, they played a little too close to the fire a couple times. They took that one delay game, and then Dallas Goedert got the touchdown or the first down.
Yep.
But then they had to call a timeout later on in that drive. Had they not wasted that first timeout, after Jarek slides, they can take a timeout, and you look towards the end of the game. Instead of getting the ball back with 6 seconds left, they have 47 or 46 seconds. So a mistake the Eagles made in the early part of the second half affected that game because they had one less timeout to use. Dylan, like you said, with Bradbury, it was a close call. But one, you admitted that you tugged his jersey, and you hoped they wouldn't have called it. And two, in a situation like that, don't make the ref decide to make a call or not. And, like you said, he said he tugged on the jersey. So and the ref saw it and he threw the flag. So don't even put yourself in that situation and put your team in a bad spot by making a play like that.
Yeah, well, and another thing, too, is that it's those little details, too. Because Bill Belichick talked about it and Rob Ninkovich talked about it on his, I don't know if he has a radio show or not, or wherever he talked about how, anytime the Patriots were playing a team that was wearing their white jersey, Belichick always made them wear white gloves so they could get away with that. And you look at what the Eagles were wearing, they were all wearing dark gloves. Who knows? I'm not saying that changes the outcome, but it could have. I mean, it's little things like that you don't think about, but it would make a difference where it's going to be a lot tougher for a ref to see if he's got white gloves. You don't know what happened.
I've never heard that. That's actually genius.
Yeah, that's why Bill has six with the Patriots, 2 with the Giants.
6.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Well, and another part in this game that I didn't understand that Ethan called out yesterday was this end of the first half, 15 seconds left. The Eagles have a timeout. I think was it a 1st and 10 play? Their one play, they throw a little 3-yard crossing pattern, and the receiver gets tackled right away, blows it up, and they let the clock down to 4 seconds. They take a field goal before you go into halftime. You have 15 seconds left. You have a timeout, and you have A.J. Brown. Be aggressive. Take 2 or 3 shots at the end zone. Who knows? Maybe you get a pass interference. Maybe you get a defensive holding, and the ball's at the 1-yard line. With that offensive line game and in the rugby scrum that they call a QB sneak, you're up 28-14 at halftime. And that for some reason, Nick Sirianni, a very aggressive coach, which is awesome to see. His players buy into it. Before the half, they kind of laid down like a dead dog, and it came back to bite him in the ass because you never know what could have happened. Or that they could have thrown an interception like the Niners did against the Chiefs in the regular season. They don't get any points before the half. But Ethan brought that up yesterday, and I agreed with him. I don't like that, how they just kind of lied down and died at the end of the first half. Be aggressive. Throw it to AJ Brown. Go get a 50-50
Especially with
ball.
Who they have at quarterback on the other sideline. You're not going to win being conservative against 15.
Exactly.
You're just not going to happen.
Exactly.
Talking kind of about the QB sneak and everything for how the how Philly does it. At what point is some defender, some safety just going to come run up and do like a Troy Polamalu and just try and deck him as soon as he snaps it? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? He gets the first down anyway. Like, who cares? Like, try and make a play.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they. There's a discussion about outlawing it though too, because they were already talking about that for next year is because of that safety issue aspect of it.
Well, you're saying. But the one thing I don't like about that is, if you want to have your offensive linemen get low and push, I'm fine with that. But having the 2 guys stand right behind Jalen and pushing them forward, that's not football.
Yeah.
That's rugby. If you want to do that, Jalen in Philadelphia, go to Australia, go to New Zealand, and play that sport. But that's not football. I mean, it was kind of getting old yesterday listening to Greg Olson talk about how great this QB sneak team is. It's like, no, they're good at pushing the pile from behind. Because, would they still have gotten a few of those? Yeah, they would have. But a lot of that extra push wasn't Jalen because he can squat 600 pounds. It's because he had two grown men behind him pushing him forward.
Greg was terrible yesterday.
That's just kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Greg was off yesterday. That whole broadcast seemed very, I'll say it here, very NFC, very Eagles favorite.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that broadcast was off yesterday.
Okay. I truthfully didn't get to listen to a lot because there's just so much talking at Super Bowl parties where you're not always able to hear it. That was kind of my situation. So I wasn't able to hear a lot of it. So I guess, I don't know. The only part I really remember is is when he was talking about the Bradbury hold, which we already discussed. But it was there. Part of me agrees that, it shouldn't come to that. But at the end of the day, it's football. Things are going to happen. If you need to be good enough to overcome officiating mistakes, and Eagles couldn't do it. And Grant, Dylan, you talked about too. It is the time of possession where they let it run down, 40 all the way down to 0, which is great. Yeah, you don't want to put the ball in Pat Mahomes' hands, but you got to come away with touchdowns. And there were those two drives that they had to end the first half, and then at the end, or to start the second half, where it was 21-24 and the Eagles get the field goal. Who knows? It's a different game. That if they get the Eagles get a touchdown there, it's 31-21, and then the Chiefs go down and score, make it 31-28, and they get a stop. But if the Eagles get a touchdown out of that, instead of kicking a field goal to win it, they're kicking a field goal to tie it.
Well, what was it? Wasn't it a third down on that drive where he threw it? It was like, 3rd and 11, and he threw it short of the sticks? That's correct, right? He threw it to Gainwell or someone underneath, or pass.
Yeah.
And then they kicked the field goal. If that's Kirk Cousins, my God, those announcers are absolutely crucifying him. With Hurts, oh, wow. Those are the little hit, nothing, like crickets.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's because Kirk plays for the Vikings, and he's over.
And then, guys,
he's overpaid, and it was prime time. It's prime time Kirk. But you're absolutely right.
This is the NFL.
It's unfortunate.
I was going to say, guys, another aspect of this game that no one's really talking about is in football, there's 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams. Well, one team yesterday got a turnover and scored a touchdown off that, and another team took a punt back 65 yards and set their offense up for success. And another team, which averaged 4 sacks a game on the season, didn't get 1 sack on the opposing team's quarterback, and their special teams was bad all year. So you got to credit the Chiefs, for making those plays when they needed to. And on that Jalen fumble, even if he wasn't trying to switch hands, Nick would have been there, and who knows, maybe Nick could have gotten his hands and knocked that ball down right away. But he was able to pick it up and score, and a good midseason acquisition to get Kadarius Toney for the Chiefs, and he brings that punt back 65 yards. They played a complete game yesterday in all 3 phases, and that's another reason why they won this game too.
Yeah, and they complimentary.
For some reason, the New York Giants said, "Oh, we don't need this talented first rounder," and they played complimentary football, and they wanted it. They wanted it more, and they were the better team for 60 minutes. The Eagles had a great first half, and they won that. But when they needed it most in the second half, they scored 11 points, and the Chiefs scored 24.
Yeah, so let's go back to halftime there. How are you, Grant, the Chiefs fan? How are you feeling at halftime? Were you nervous, or were you kind of like, the Eagles got a little bit of control, but we still have PM15, and there's a lot of game left. If we get a score here, we're right back in it.
Yeah, I was right there. We still got 15. The one thing that did worry me, though, a little bit was slightly rolled that ankle before halftime, and with the long halftime, there's plenty of time for him to get cold and that ankle to lock up. And you always, in the back of your head, you're thinking, oh, is that Eagles pass rush eventually going to get there? Are they going to get there? But again, in return, I was like this at the coin toss. Andy deferred for a reason. Get the ball to start the second half, go down, get a touchdown, and get a stop. And what's the first thing they do? They go down, and they force the Eagles to go 3 and out. And in the second half, and then, they're down 21-20. 21-20. Sorry, they get the field goal. The Eagles do. I'm sorry. But then the Chiefs go down and they get another touchdown. At that point, it's like, it's game on. The Chiefs have been here. They've done that. They got PM15. They got Andy. And if you watch this Chiefs team all year, guys, they give up points in the first half, but then they're going to make some adjustments, and they're going to make teams slow down. And then they force that 3 and out after the field goal. And the offense couldn't be stopped. So, with Patrick in this offense, you're always going to say, hey, we're in this. But, I was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. A little nervous there just because this Eagles team is so complete. And even though they weren't able to establish the running game with the running backs in the first half, you're worried that big offensive line was going to maybe wear the Chiefs down. But they didn't, and they're fighters. And that's just kind of, like I've said all year, guys, how I would describe this team is they're just resilient. They don't quit. This is another game. Hey, they got down early, but they're going to fight, scratch, and claw, and they're going to play it for 60 minutes. Kind of like what they say in basketball. You win basketball games in the fourth quarter, and the Chiefs are going to hang around in the fourth quarter. They're going to hit you in the nose when you're tired and you're not ready to play, and they're going to pull out a lot of these wins. I mean, like you said, Dylan, but there are 3 losses this year were by a combined 10 points.
Yep.
With Patrick and Andy and this team and how resilient they are, they're never out of a game.
Yep. And the other part, too, Mahomes only had 1 incompletion in the second half, too, and it was a throwaway.
Mm-hmm. It was a throwaway.
Yeah. And, guys like Juju stepped up. The previous 2 playoff games, it was MVS. This week, it was Juju. Tony, he only had the 1 catch, but it was for a touchdown. Kelsey did his thing, and then
Sky Moore had a couple catches in the fourth
quarter. Sky Moore, yep. And then, Tony is
Sky Moore.
Tony had the catch and then the punt return, and then the running backs were threats as well. It was, like you said, Grant, it was a complete game for the Chiefs, especially on offense, where they looked like the Chiefs of the old, and they're going to enter. Well, they already are. It's going to be the favorites for next year already, and the Eagles there's some question marks there. They're going to have to pay Jalen Hurts in the upcoming year or so. They've got about 10 free agents. So it's hard to say. I think Jalen Hurts is an impressive player. And I think if you're I think too.
I was just going to say, is Fletcher Cox going to retire?
Jason Kelsey also.
Is Jason Kelsey going to retire? What about Lane Johnson?
I was going to say, is he ever going to be healthy?
Yeah, and Sue was a 1-year.
I don't know. He's going to have another groin surgery right now.
Yeah, he's having surgery. They came out and said it.
Yeah, Linval Joseph, Ndamukong Suh.
Is Reddick
Hopefully they go down to the Cowboys
again? He didn't do that in Tennessee.
Yeah, well, and it sounds like I think I heard heard today that he was upset with his lack of targets in the second half. Was AJ Brown?
Shut up.
Well, he's going to be there a long time. I mean, he signed a new contract.
Yeah.
And that's about as diva a receiver as it gets right there.
Yeah, and I think with Jalen Hurts, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes a team-friendly deal just by the type of guy he is and just
absolutely not
how he handles himself. I think if he's smart, I think he would do what would best would be to build that around him. Something that Dak Prescott should have done is take less money so they can have other pieces around him, because I think that's the key to Jalen's success is having more talent around him.
they're already throwing $50 million plus around his name. Like, he ain't taking anything less. Like, I get being a better teammate, but I don't think it's ever going to happen unless you're like some veteran that actually has gotten his already at some point.
No,
like a Kirk Cousins.
I'm with you, Ethan. These guys, they're going after the bag.
Yeah.
I mean, I read a report today that the Eagles organization, they've had internal conversations. They hope they can get a deal done with Jalen before Justin Herbert. You know why? Because whatever Herbert gets, Jalen's going to get more. And then that's only going to cap-strap the Eagles in a worse situation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It could happen. Well, I guess we'll see.
But Dylan,
and then Joe Burrow's going to be getting a contract too, probably.
And none of those guys should get more than Burrow.
Yeah, so those three teams are absolutely – No, and look, those three teams are going to be in trouble because you're going to have to pay these guys and you're going to have to let people go. It's going to be a delicate situation. I heard they might trade T just because they got to pay Burrow.
You almost have to.
And,
I know
you got Sam Hubbard coming up and all these other guys.
But you just don't have the money.
Yeah, and Grant disappeared. But, yeah,
guys,
the way the receiver –
look at what the Chiefs did this year.
The way the receivers, there's so many receivers in the NFL or in the draft that you can get in mid to late rounds that have been productive right out of the gate. You're almost better off to just get a contract out of them and then send them on their way, because usually after they get the bag, their production drops off.
I'm not trying to change.
Well, guys, look at who just won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, they got rid of Tyreek Hill. You signed Juju on a 1-year deal. You bring MVS in for a 3-year deal. And then you draft Sky Moore. You sign Justin Watson. You trade for Kadarius Toney. And, you have Travis Kelce. So he's your stud there. They just proved if you have an all-pro at quarterback, like let's say the Bengals do, if you have your one stud, Jamar and Travis, as long as you get good pieces around there in a good running game, you can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And another person, too, that we're not talking about that we haven't mentioned yet is give it up for Andrew Wiley, who was labeled the weakest lineman on the Chiefs and probably had the best game on the Chiefs' offensive line. That guy, I'm sure he's one that probably heard the noise and was challenged all week in meetings that, hey, we need you to play your best, and he delivered.
I can count on two hands how many times I saw him yesterday after a pass protection throw Hassan Reddick onto the ground and fall on top of him. He was throwing pancakes out left and right. And after a while, that wears on a defensive player's mind. Hey, this guy's kicking my ass. I got a 310-pound man falling on top of me after every play. I can't win. So, yeah, Dylan, that was huge. And, the Chiefs' last Super Bowl appearance, they gave up 3 sacks and Mahomes was hit probably 20 times. Yesterday, they gave up 0 sacks and he was pressured, 11 times all game?
Yeah. Well, okay, so we might have a lead here, guys. Is some of the Chiefs or the Eagles D linemen, are they still in the the State Farm Stadium turf from being pancaked? That's something you got to look into. And that field was not great. And I don't know if that had something to do with it either, but the Chiefs also had to deal with it as well. But, looking in the State Farm Stadium turf might be a play. It might be a good start.
I'm right there with you.
So, all right. Well, what did you guys think of the halftime show?
Selfish.
I was hoping Kanye was gonna pop out when she was singing All of the Lights.
I was so pissed she didn't do
Can I comment on that?
Go ahead.
That's not her song.
No, it's not.
It's Kanye.
That's Kanye's song. She was featured in that. It's not like Umbrella. Umbrella is her song and Jay-Z is featured. For her to go out there and do All of the Lights, which isn't her song, is ridiculous. It's not fair. That's Kanye's song. You just can't steal that from him. like that.
No. Well, there were people saying that this was the best halftime show of all time. Did they forget about Prince in the Rain? We weren't alive for this one, but Michael Jackson is also probably one of the best ones of all time, too. But yeah, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was anything special.
Dude, even like Bruno Mars was better than what
Bruno Mars was.
Rihanna was yesterday. Lady Gaga had a better halftime than Rihanna did yesterday. Rihanna wasn't bad, but it wasn't one of the best ones I've ever seen.
Madonna was that 11? I think.
Yeah.
I think that was Madonna in 11, yeah. Bruno Mars was the best part of the Super Bowl in when he did the halftime show in New York.
That's right. Yep, that's right.
Like, did she just think everyone would give her a pass because she's pregnant, or what? Like, you need someone else out there besides a baby in a womb.
Well, I mean, there was the Chinese balloons that were all on the field there too. Can't forget about those.
I thought we shot those down. Down.
That's what they did. They shot them all down, and she used them for the halftime show. That's what it was.
Oh, I gotcha.
But yeah, and then what you guys? Commercials were disappointing. I thought there were two good ones that really stick out. Was the Farmer's Dog one, and then the Popcorners with the Walter White and the Breaking Bad crew. I thought those were the two best ones. Other than that, they weren't great. Super Bowl commercials have just gone downhill for. I don't even know the last year where they actually were really. Good.
They've taken a huge shit. It's awful.
Like last year, I think there was really only one good one.
Can't even have a beer company who makes a good commercial anymore.
No, last year the only good one I thought of the commercials was the Chevy Sopranos one. That was a good one, and then
I don't remember that one.
Okay. It was with Tony's kids, and they were driving. It was like the intro to the TV show, and she was driving a Chevy electric vehicle. But the one year that I think where I really remember where it was like they were really good was the Ravens 49ers one. Though that year I think was the last year that I can remember where they had really good commercials. And I couldn't even remember what they were because it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
But yeah, so you guys got anything else? Any opinions on the commercials?
The one that like made it look like if you have a Fire Stick, it made it look like it was like changing your channel.
The Tubi TV. That was a good one. That was another good one.
I lost my shit. I literally went out of the TV and I was like, what the fuck? Who's changing my damn channel? Like, it absolutely got pissed.
Everybody did.
Oh, I was just furious.
Because there was somebody that was like screaming at one of the guys that was holding the remote or that had the remote next to him. He's like, I don't know. I didn't touch it. And then sure enough, it's like, wait. We got about halfway through. It was like, wait, this has to be a commercial. But yeah, it was incredible play by them. So there were three good commercials this year. But Grant, did you have anything else?
I just kind of want to, go back to the game here. Talk about how good those Chiefs running backs were. Isaiah Pacheco, 15 carries for 76 yards, averaging 5 yards a carry. Jerick McKinnon, 4 for 34, and 8.5 yards a carry. It seems like this year, guys, when we've challenged the Chiefs' offensive line to go out and perform, what have they done? They've gone out and they've performed and they've dominated. So to your point, Dylan, maybe Andy in this offensive stack, I think Andrew Heck is the offensive line coach. Maybe they're listening.
I think
or
that's
maybe
only
Andy
a
just
logical
once every 6 weeks likes to – maybe he likes, and then, likes to pull a rabbit out of his ass once every 6 weeks, and this happened to be on that schedule. So, that was great to see. But also, I look at this Chiefs team, and I think this is the best rebuilding year in NFL history. I mean, because you look at it, and I know I'm looking forward here to next year, and I think I should be excited, rightfully so. You're going to have 4 players in the secondary back. Your 3 linebackers are going to be a 4th-year player, a 3rd-year player, and a 2nd-year player with Leo Chanel, Nick Bolton, Willie Gay. And you're going to bring your defensive line back. They're all under contract. And then, the receivers, unfortunately, I think McColl's going to go, but if you can re-sign Juju, MVS is coming back. You have Sky Moore. Kadarius is on that rookie deal. You got Travis. Maybe you can re-sign Justin Watson or sign another speedster. Jarek's a free agent, but you still have Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Isaiah Pacheco. You got to re-sign Orlando Brown. But your 3 guys in the middle are coming back. I think you can probably bring back Andrew Wiley on a comfortable deal. The young players in the secondary, like I said, just the way they've rebuilt this team and how good of a team they are is just really something special. And now is when we need to put more respect on Brett Veach's name, because he's built 2 Super Bowl champion teams in this 5 years. He's been the GM. And each year before, when they've won a Super Bowl, he's had a drastic roster change, and he's hit all the right buttons.
Yeah. Should win Executive of the Year. I don't think they have.
And then I don't think they have that anymore.
No. Well, he wins our Executive.
And then also I saw a stat today. That was incredible. The Chiefs are the 2nd team in NFL history to win 75 games in a 5-year span, joining the Patriots from the 03 to 07.
It's good company.
Which just shows how dominant they've been. Absolutely. I mean, both teams won 2 Super Bowls in that stretch and lost the 3rd. So it just shows how well this organization is ran from top to bottom. And Kansas City's hosting the NFL draft this spring in April. That's just kind of cool. Your Super Bowl champs are hosting the NFL draft.
And we could get a rematch on Thursday night of week 1 is Eagles Chiefs. So
I don't know. Something tells me, I know they play Cincinnati next year. I don't know if that game is in Cincinnati or if it's in Arrowhead. Something tells me if the Bengals have to go to Arrowhead, that might be the Thursday night game.
That could be 2. That could be
a bad
2.
one.
That would be a good one.
We also could it go wrong with Sean Payton's first game in Denver as a head coach going to play the former Super Bowl champs?
You mean Mike McCarthy with a better PR rep?
We'll take it, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll do some hopefully by next time we record we'll actually have some coaching hires to discuss. Everything will be finalized. We can give our grades of the new coaching hires and go from there, because now that football's over, we got to figure out stuff to talk about for the next 9 months. But yeah, great way to end the season. Can't wait for it to start next year. It's only 210 days as of now. I saw today, so got something to look forward to. Mirror positivity. Like me, I'm going.
That'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, it will. It will be. It 1,000% will be. It'll sneak up on us. And I'll be in Denver this week. Maybe I'll go say hi to Sean. See if he's used one of Russ's 13 bathrooms in his house yet. Got a coach's clinic down there. We're leaving Thursday. And I want a trip to Mexico. So as people who know, I work at Pepsi as my day job. And I get a call from my boss on Thursday that said, "Hey, where you at?" I'm like, "I'm driving." And he's like, "Oh, are you stopping at the warehouse?" I was like, "I can. Why?" He's like, "Well, there's some trips that we won through Bubbler. I don't know if you guys have ever had these.
I've not.
Okay, well, I don't know. They should be in the city somewhere.
I've seen them. We haven't been Target.
Okay. And I sold the most in the company, so I won a free trip to Cancun for 4 days. Because I sold the most. So shout out Bubbler. Thank you guys for the free trip to Mexico. So.
Well, son of a bitch, there could be worse things.
Yeah, and then like a month later, I'll be going back to Mexico for Cody's birthday party or bachelor party.
Someone's going to get abducted.
Look at you, Mr. World Traveler.
I know. Yeah, something like that. I don't know if I would consider myself a world traveler, a North American traveler at worst. Ooh, that was quite a push. But I've got it's me for Curveball of the Week, so we'll wrap it up here. And I got asked this on like Thursday by a buddy of mine. And, like I said, going to Denver this weekend, so 8-hour road trip. And if you're going on a long road trip, what is your Mount Rushmore of gas station snacks that you're bringing with on a road trip?
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
How many do we get? 4?
4. So, the Mount Rushmore, so there's 4 faces.
I think I'll start with something. I don't got all 4, but I'm going to start here.
Okay.
Long road trip like that, you're in the car for 8 hours. You need something to drink. I'm going to need something with a little caffeine in there and a little go. I'm going to go with a Bang energy drink.
Okay. What flavor of Bang?
I'm going to go peach mango.
All right.
I got all 4 of mine.
Yeah. I'm going peach mango Bang.
Okay. All right. Since you did even
was that
4, I'll let him go.
I got all 4.
All right, fire away.
So Jolly Ranchers, just a classic road trip snack. Don't forget the cavities will come. It's fine. It's worth it. Number 2, Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips. There's just no other way around it. It's just how it goes.
Let's fucking go.
Best chip out there. 3, Casey's Pizza.
Best chip out there.
Oh, yep.
So you got the best candy, the best chips, and the best pizza. So you got Casey's. Preferably breakfast.
The best pizza out there.
Bacon. It's the best. And my last one.
Yes, bacon over sausage pizza.
Oh, absolutely. Sunflower seeds.
I like it.
Oh, yep. Necessity.
I like it.
You got to have that.
I like it.
Then obviously you'll have a drink or something, but I went snacks. When I think of snacks, I think of food.
Okay. All right. Grant, do you have your other 3 then?
That's fair. So, yeah, I'm going to piggyback off Ethan with his last one right there. I'm going to go sunflower seeds.
Yep.
A little something to keep the mouth stimulated, keeps you awake, doesn't let you from falling asleep right there. And then secondly for me, or third one on the list, I'm going to go a pack of beef jerky.
Oh, get that good protein. Good protein.
Get a little protein in there. Sometimes it can be a little tough to chew. Again, it kind of keeps your mind active and keeps you stimulated. The last one I'm going to go with here, I know it's kind of a mess, and I shouldn't be probably doing this because I'm driving, but the bag of Ho-Ho's, the white powdered mini donuts.
That seems like a you answer.
Something about that sugar that just it keeps you up, it keeps you going. So with the combination of the Bang and those donuts, I'm not falling asleep while I'm driving anytime soon.
There you go. Okay. For me, it would be you got to have something to drink. So depending on the time of day when we leave, if it's in the morning, I'm getting coffee. The large black coffee, nothing, none of the fancy shit that's in there, just straight black. And then if it's afternoon, middle of the day, probably going to go with a Mountain Dew. And maybe now that the Bubbler's sending me on a trip to Mexico, I might have to go with a Bubbler. But I'm going with that. And then the next is probably some type of pizza, whether depending, we don't have Casey's in Dickinson where I live, but hot stuff pizza, probably got to get one of those. And then like Ethan, the Ruffles sour cream and cheddar and sour cream chips, best chips out there, can't beat them. And then I want something a little sweet, something with a little sugar in it. I'm going with the king size Reese's Fast Break. And that's the last thing I would eat because what you eat, if it's the last thing you eat, it's going to be sitting in the car a little bit. It's going to melt a little bit. And it's just got that perfect meltiness too, where it melts in your mouth and it makes it just taste a little bit better.
I like that, Dylan, because actually as a kid, that was probably my second favorite candy behind the Reese's Cup. Okay. But yeah, that king size Reese's Fast Break just hits different.
You know they sell them in mini sizes now too?
I did not know that until now.
Yeah. Yep. You can get them at your you can probably get them at Target. You can get them at Walmart, Dollar General. I don't know. Yeah, maybe you can get them at Hy-Vee. Who
changes
knows?
Everything.
Yeah, they're game changers, man. They're dangerous. Because in theory, you're the bite-sized ones, but then you end up eating the whole thing, and it's basically a king size.
True.
So,
I got to add something here on that sour cream and cheddar Ruffles potato chips. Someday, if and when Ethan ever gets married, my wedding gift to him is going to be like 10 bags of the party size Reese's cheddar and sour cream chips, just so he can have a summer supply of barbecue. Ruffles.
Please go to Costco and get the giant-sized ones.
There you go.
That's what I was going to do. I was going to go to Costco and get like the step above the party size bag of chips. I was going to get him like 12.
I don't even know what you
call that way whatever it is, just so he's got like not a lifetime supply, but a good enough supply of chips for any barbecue he goes to, in a pan of his life. So, Ethan, I hope you enjoy that gift I'm going to get you someday. I think you're going to. So that just shows how great those chips are.
They're the best.
Yes, sir.
That's it. That's the way to go. Is you can never go wrong with the cheddar and sour cream Ruffles. And you guys got anything else, or are we're putting a bow on this?
I think Boone's out of ideas for tonight.
Boone's out of ideas. Okay, has he keep him out of the garbage, Ethan?
We're gonna try.
Okay, there you go. And Grant, he went back to the roots. He's back at his parents' house on a computer, not holding his phone. His arm's probably not usually ever sore.
I'm not tired.
He actually didn't have to hold his phone up the whole time. He actually got to use a webcam, and hopefully the quality is a little bit better. Maybe it's good, because probably should work for all of us is the blurriness that you're on right now, because we all were born with faces for radio. So that wraps up this episode of the Three Guys Talking Ball podcast. Subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, like us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, 3GTB Podcast, Three Guys Talking Ball Podcast Facebook page. The segments of the show is going to be out on YouTube on Friday. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.